wounded and starving, with 40 million prisoners suffering from every conceivable form of moral and physical torment, must be freed.
Stop!
Ivan.
Victor. What's wrong?
The guards, they are after me.
Ganze Treppe auf. Karl und Fritz alle Zimmer durchsuchen. Auf niemand schießen. Lebendig rangehen.
Your man run through here?
A man running? It's against the rules to run in the hospital. If I see him, I shall certainly report him.
Hans, Fritz, Karl! Alles bestimmt? Schnell, folgt mir!
Victor, you can go now.
All I have left, Yvonne. We'll need them.
What are you doing here?
Doctor, I didn't want to come, but there was no other place.
The guards are looking for him.
I'll try to get out now. Yvonne, if you see Colette before I do, tell her I flooded the factory with those leaflets. And tell her that I... Thanks, Yvonne.
I'm sorry, Colonel. He killed one of our guards.
I don't care if he killed 10 guards.
Go back to your work. All right, back to your work. Get back to work. There is the answer to your leaflets and propaganda.
At least he was spared torture.
What of Colette? Victor was her whole life.
She must be informed at once. If she's traced through Victor, the entire cafe may be searched. Yvonne, go straight home. I'll go on to the cafe myself.
I want to be with Colette. We can go together, can't we?
There may be danger.
I'm not afraid.
Your name is Colette?
To my friends? But I have many.
Like, Victor?
Victor, Pierre, Paul, Jacques.
So, when one dies, it doesn't make much difference, eh?
Dies?
You haven't heard Victor Durand is dead?
Victor Durand? Dead? Oh, sure. When I'm busy, I'm like that. In one ear, out of the other, you know. You know how it is. 2 beers, you said? There you are, monsieur.
Just a minute. Who were Victor's friends?
How should I know? What do you bother me about him? That customer can't drink.
He's French. No feelings.
I'll be downstairs.
just signaled. What happened, Doctor?
2 Gestapo men were upstairs. They've gone, but we must be careful.
Sure. Say, Doctor, does Claudette know about Victor?
Yes.
Poor girl.
Victor gave me a message for you, Colette. I saw him just before. You did? What did he say? He told me to tell you that he'd flooded the factory with our leaflets. He was very proud.
Proud? Is that all he said?
And that he loved you very much.
I swear to you, Doctor, you can't buy paper at any price.
Impossible.
We can't even steal it anymore. And to print leaflets as fast as you write them, we'd need the supply of Goebbels himself.
You'll have to find paper. I've just written some new material on the execution of the university students. It's called La France Prisonnière.
Good title, Doctor. Very good. But don't worry. Don't worry about the paper. I haven't been sleeping. I want to show... Where did I put...
Stupid, you have forgotten again. Over there.
Oh, Look. They are giving these away by the carload. I told the boys to save them.
Well, how do you propose to use these?
We have done a good job already.
It is they who have killed thousands and thousands of Frenchmen. See, that's a marvelous idea. That'll solve all our problems.
That's my idea.
Huh? Doctor, on these filthy faces, our propaganda will read much better. Look at him. And something else. We volunteered to distribute Colonel Piros's next proclamation ourselves. Personally.
Max and Paul, your noble activities in behalf of the Nazis will probably earn you an extra loaf of bread.
I hope so.
How is Colette?
It must be harder to be left behind than to die.
This is a terrible war, Yvonne, but a necessary one. And all the really alive people in the world are fighting it. The rest are like so much stuffed furniture.
Do you think what happened to Victor and what might happen to us is normal?
Of course it is. Who do you find in our ranks, except the average, common, decent people of Paris, thousands of us? I'm actually grateful that I'm not part of the stuffed furniture.
Someday I'm going to stuff Colonel Pirosh myself with the finest goose feathers.
Any word from Jean?
No, not in 3 months.
Perhaps he's been moved to some other prison camp and forbidden to write. Why don't you check with the Red Cross?
I've been meaning to.
You should. It's better than worrying like this.
I suppose I don't want to know. Not definitely. Not the way Colette learned tonight.
Now, look here. If you come to the hospital tomorrow with that long face, I'm going to get myself another assistant. Now, come on. Smile.
You're very nice, Andre.
Sure he's nice. He cheers me up, too. Maybe because it's the first time I ever talked to a doctor when I was in good health. These are for you, Yvonne. And you take these, Doctor, will you?
It's lucky for you and me that we can come and go without being searched.
Well, I must get back now. Good night.
Good night,
Good
Yvonne.
night.
And be careful, won't you?
Hello, Father.
Hello, Yvonne.
Hello, Mother.
Bonsoir, ma fille.
I'm sorry I'm late, but we were so busy at the hospital again.
That's all right.
Cooking the same bone.
What else? Oh, we lose a war and she expects the fat of the land.
We lose a battle, not the war.
Oh, you're giving Master Mackinac a lecture in politics. Is it eating from the same bone every night? Or isn't it?
Oh, be quiet, Lucien.
It's this way. We lost in 70. We won in 1918. We lost in 40, and we'll win in 1965. And then we'll eat again.
Uh-huh. And before that, the worms will eat us.
Bonsoir, Papa. Hello, Gerald. Mama. Always late, this child.
In the first place, I am not a child. In the second place, dinner isn't even ready. And in the third place, I will still be hungry after dinner is over.
Yvonne, you know about Victor?
Victor?
Yes.
Victor Durand?
Yes, he was going to be arrested today in the factory, and he tried to run away, and they killed him. I saw it with my own eyes.
Killed?
Oh, now it starts again.
Oh, Mother, don't cry, please.
It was because of these. Look,
Did many others get them?
every man in the department, they were posted on walls all over the shop.
Let me see it. What does it say, Lucien?
Frenchmen, France still resists. Every minute of lost work speeds the Nazi defeat. Last month, 50 tanks and thousands of shells lost in Beaumont due to sabotage. But they are risking their necks. I played billiards with Victor in the cafe nearly every day, and he never spoke once of the underground.
Wouldn't be very underground if he had.
Who do you think runs this fighting French committee?
I do, of course.
This is no business of yours, Georges.
Oh, they're right. It's better to give your lives for something you believe in than to be a Nazi slave. All you want is to be near the girls. That's my business. I have the right to do as I please. Not as they tell me, like a dog on a leash.
Monty, you're too young to worry about such things.
Oh, too young, too young. Sure, I was too young to work in the factory, too. Oh, if Jean were back.
Jean? But look who's comparing himself to Jean because he wears long pants. Jean is a man.
Well, if Jean were back, he wouldn't be sitting around waiting for 1965. Would he, Yvonne?
Of course not.
Always talking about this war, the next war. Who will live through another war? Come on. Sit down, everybody.
Better change, huh, Mama?
Oh, never mind. Everything is ready. Wash your hands, Joe.
Go ahead, young man.
Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Come on, Papa.
Give me your plate.
What can we say to them? Coming back defeated.
Defeated? Is a man defeated when he didn't even have a chance to fire a shot? My regiment was ready to die to the last man. I'm still ready to fight.
Fight with what, Picard? When I think we were trying to stop hundreds of tanks just with our bayonets.
Keep quiet, Gaston.
keep quiet, enough.
Blanchard, does your wife know you're coming? Oh, what a day for her. I wish I were married and had a wife to come back to.
Paris, only 20 kilometers.
Paris. France. Home.
Jean, my friend! Oh, my, how you've changed. I didn't know you. You came in on the train of prisoners today? Those Boches, what have they done to you? I want to talk to you, Jean, to hear all about it. You know, I still have the same barber shop. Come in for a haircut anytime.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Father.
Jean, mon pauvre Jean.
George.
Yvonne! Yvonne!
Jean! Oh. Jean. Oh. Oh, I can't believe it. You're going to stay. You're free.
Yes, I'm free.
Oh.
Oh, Mama, please stop.
Oh, but I am so happy.
Every time something happens, whether it's good or bad, Mother always cries.
Jean, I'll go in the kitchen and give you something to eat. I have some soup ready.
Do, Mother.
If we had only known you were coming back.
We would have met you at the station.
Well, I couldn't inform you. They told me only at the last moment at the hospital.
Come, sit down. Hospital. Have you been ill, Jean?
Well, nothing worthwhile, darling.
They're releasing prisoners. Why?
Well, maybe they want me to eat your food instead of theirs. Maybe they got tired of looking at me. Who knows? Well, all grown up, George.
Yeah, and I'm shaving almost every day, too, with your old razor, incidentally.
Here, Jean. Eat.
Oh, I warn you about that soup, Jean. It's so old it has a beard on it. The same bone cooked for a week.
I've dreamed about some homemade soup. Complaining about it, George? It improves with age, Mother.
I am so happy.
You're so thin, Jean.
Oh, that is all right, Yvonne. There are no fat people in Paris anymore. Oh, come on.
Jean, what is it?
It's nothing, darling. I'm just a little tired, that's all.
You better lie down. Come on, let me help you.
Yes.
Mother! Everybody, look. A piece of cheese from the Cassels and a slice of sausage from Aunt Marie. Oh. 2 cigarettes from Monsieur Boucher, pretended he had just sworn off smoking.
No!
And a big surprise.
What? An egg!
A present from the grocer.
If I only had the chicken it came from.
You're asking too much, dear.
Oh, Mother, when I told them Jean was back, they insisted I'd bring these things back for him as gifts. They were so lovely.
A real egg!
Now, Mother, don't start to cry. Yvonne, Jean is waiting for you. Come on, Papa. Bye.
Oh, you look so much better already, Jean. You better hurry up and shave.
Shave? With what? Look what George did to her.
John, I was watching you last night while you were asleep. I still couldn't believe you were back.
Darling, you look more beautiful than ever.
Then waiting for you did it for me. Oh, waiting's been so hard, John. Do you know what it's been like? Before we were married, when I was expecting you to call, and maybe you'd be a minute late, I was sure I was going to die. And that moment's lasted all the time you've been gone. Ever since the day you told me you'd enlisted. Now I want to forget that we've ever been separated. Remember what you said when I gave you this?
Yes, I do. Just a simple wish. Just to be the father of your child. A little house in the country. Fireplace, garden. Some fruit trees of our own. A little car. Everything a man dreams about for his family. But look what has happened.
Well, the war's going to be over soon. And I have you, Jean. That's all I want in this world.
It's no use, Yvonne. I know it.
What do you mean?
I'm not the man you were waiting for.
Why do you say that?
Do I resemble him?
Why, of course you do. You just need a long rest, that's all. I'll take a vacation. We'll go to the country together, take along a lot of books, make a career out of just being good and lazy. But you must have patience, darling.
All right. Get me your father's razor. Will you? Frenchmen, soldiers without uniforms. Our country knows that France is still fighting.
What are these for? Where did you get them?
One of the girls in the hospital asked me to keep them for her.
And you're so stupid to let yourself be used that way?
Well, Sean, that's little enough.
But don't you know what it means when they find out? That means concentration camp, death.
I suppose so, but very little can be done without some risk.
Nothing can be done, risk or not. George told me that Victor was killed. What for? Do the fools believe that the Nazis can be defeated with words?
Well, you can't mean that, Jean. You haven't forgotten you used to be editor of the factory paper.
We weren't fighting the Nazis then.
But how often you used to say, if you tell the people the truth, they'll act. Why, you were going to change the whole world with just simple words.
Listen, that was a world in which words counted, not guns alone.
Oh, you're wrong, darling. Every day something happens at the factory. A bolt is pulled loose. Pins are put into the machinery. A wrench falls into a chain. Anything to stop production of the fascist tanks. These things aren't accident, Jean. It's sabotage. The words on these leaflets are responsible. Small things, perhaps, but multiply them by thousands.
Now, listen. I saw their army. I saw the organization behind the lines. 2.5 years in one of the camps taught me something about them.
The invincible Nazis. You believe it, too.
Yes. I remember the first time they gave us food. It was soup, made of rotten potatoes, dirty and unwashed. It stank, so I vomited. Then I became hungry. So hungry, I was ready to fight for my share of that black liquid. Sometimes we stood in lines for hours to get it. Then I tried to resist. I tried to escape. And I wasn't alone. Don't ask me to tell you what they did to us.
You're afraid. They've beaten fear into you.
Yes? The only ones who don't know fear haven't fallen into their hands yet. Otherwise they would have feared too and cursed themselves for not making peace when they could.
What are you going to do, Jean?
Destroy these.
Please don't. Please, John, you don't realize how precious they are. I'll give them back, I promise you.
The people responsible for these should be reported so that the rest of us can live in peace.
Is that what you want? That kind of peace?
Listen, Ivan. I don't want to hear any more about war and fighting. I want to live quietly. This family has little food, but still it is a family. Come on, Ivan. We have each other. Let's stay away from everything else. It's the only way to find some happiness.
Better hurry, Jean, or we'll be late at the hospital.
What about this mottling of the left tanks?
I've measured it. It's 1/4 of an inch in diameter.
Life in a Nazi camp should make me a very interesting patient to you, Doctor. That is, if you're interested in wrecked people.
I'm beginning to get some idea of what you must have been through.
You can spare me the sympathy, Doctor. All I want to know is the truth.
As you like. You're a very sick man, Blanchard.
Sick? How long have we got to live? Tell me, how long?
Like anyone else, it depends entirely upon how well you take care of yourself.
What do you mean? Wrapped in cotton until I'm 80? 2 years? 1 year? Why don't you speak up? When you doctors have good news, you're free enough with it. When the news is bad, then it becomes a secret between you and God.
Please return in a few days, Blanchard. I'd like to help you.
You report on my condition. Do they see it in the office?
Not necessarily. Why?
Well, I need a job. I wanted to go back into the factory.
You're not fit for work. That's why they sent you back here. Besides, do you want to help the Germans produce tanks?
They will build tanks. If I don't do it, someone else will.
There are less strenuous jobs.
I know. But I have always worked at Beaumont. I want to be close to my wife and her family.
I can only repeat that you're not strong enough.
Until a man drops, they are glad to have him. You see, Doctor, I don't want to be treated as an invalid or to alarm Yvonne. You must understand, please.
I'll take care of that. I can't tell you how worried Yvonne was about you. She's a remarkable girl.
She also uses superlatives to describe you, Doctor.
How often she spoke about you.
About me? With you?
It's perfectly normal, working together constantly. We've become good friends. Yes?
Excuse my intrusion, colleague. I return your microscope.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Mannheim.
Most interesting.
Yes, a recent arrival from one of your concentration camps.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome, Blanchard.
Jean, tell me, what did he say?
It's nothing serious.
Oh, you see, I was right. Isn't Dr. Marbell wonderful?
I'm well enough to go to work.
Oh, no, not right away.
Well, the only thing I need now is a real shave. That will be my next stop.
All right.
See you later.
So, you're going back to Beaumont, Jean,
Why not?
Sure, why not? A man must make a living, Thank heaven, I'm a barber. The Germans can't tell me how fast to work or how long. If I work too fast or I'm tired, ding, the razor slips and the throat is cut. Huh? Isn't that so? Oh, remember how popular you used to be in the plant. What will you do now?
Mind my own business.
Oh, how is Yvonne? You know, every morning I see her walking to the hospital. Ah, a fine, beautiful, healthy woman. It's always like spring when she passes. I'm not the only one who could write a poem about her. But 3 years is a long time to be separated from such a girl. And not so easy for her either, I suppose. But one is a beautiful thing in Paris, neglected for long. Everybody was so nice to her, like that fine gentleman, Dr. Marbell. Always together, those two. Lunch at Colette's, seeing her safely home at night, like the fine gentleman he is. How lucky for her and for you to have such a distinguished friend.
That's enough of your wench, you little rat.
What did I say? Jean, I don't...
They send back to me in the mail my own orders with their filthy propaganda written on the other side. La France prisonnière, down with the Boche. The soldiers of de Gaulle fight on with our allies. France will be free. Stupid. She's free now.
May I?
Certainly.
Well, at least it has a certain literary quality, don't you think?
Doctor, we have generously released 100 prisoners who are unable to work. And in exchange, we are taking 500 men from this plant. They will leave for the Reich within a week.
And if they don't choose to go?
Choose. Choose is not a German word.
I know, you have a better one, force. But what of the families of these men?
Can't accommodate them.
You realize, of course, that taking away workers will seriously disrupt production here?
The machines will be dismantled in a few days and follow the men. After all, what does France need industry for? We will produce for the whole world. The rest can go back to the land.
You've planned for everything, haven't you?
My dear Marbell, that's the meaning of leadership. Now I've got a job for you. The first group of men leaving must be vaccinated tomorrow. Have you enough serum for 500 men?
if we exhaust our civilian supply.
I'm not interested in those that remain. I'm only concerned over the importation of French diseases into Germany.
Malnutrition is not exclusively a French disease.
Clinical discussions.
I warn you against epidemics which may close down Beaumont completely.
I appreciate your advice very much. I will send you our doctors to assist. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Don't worry about this problem, Doctor. We have experience to deal in these matters.
Oh, it's George. Hello.
Always with the girls.
So what, Pop? Have you heard the latest?
Oh, your latest is always the oldest. Now, come on, tell us.
Well, a German meets a Hollander. And the German says, Heil Hitler. The Hollander says, Heil Rembrandt. The German says, why do you Heil Rembrandt? The Hollander says, because Rembrandt was our best painter.
Come on, sit down.
Wait a minute, just a second. Hold it. It's my turn. You're next.
No. He's too young to smoke.
But, Mother, I'm a man.
Come on, give me the last puff. I have a straw. One old American cigarette for 6 people. Homemade red ink. Biscuits like stones. But we have everything. Ooh, life is beautiful. Now, who dare say that the French are not happy? To better times, my friend.
Have you heard the good news? German sub-bases in Saint-Nazaire and Lorient bombed again last night.
Yes, we heard. Isn't that wonderful?
What is there to be happy about? More of our people being bombed. Hasn't the country suffered enough?
You don't speak for all the prisoners who've come back, Jean. Or for more than 1.5 million of our men who are still in the Nazi camps.
Oh. Picard thinks that when he is dead, it will make a difference whether he has a French or Nazi passport to heaven.
Sit down, Picard.
Let's forget there's a war, darling. This is a party. Who let's sing for us?
Yes, please. Ah, yes. Oh, come on, Francois, play for us.
The day will come again when hearts will laugh again and love will live again in my Paris. Beneath blue skies so gay, the merry crowds will play in every street cafe of my Paris. Tears soon will turn to lazy summer showers, and children play 'neath chestnut trees in bloom, and in the world, with all its fragrant bowers, sweethearts will sigh, je t'aime, mon amour. Then boys will smile again, and girls will sing again. The sun will shine again in my Paris.
Who's it?
Doctor. I trust I'm not intruding.
Won't you join us?
No, thank you. I just dropped in for a moment.
What's happened? What's wrong?
I just talked to Piroche. It's very important that the committee meet at my house tonight. Tell the others.
Simon, a coffee for a doctor.
The aristocratic Dr. Marbel in Colette's Café.
He eats here every day. You don't take taxis to the Champs-Élysées anymore.
All right, we'll go at once.
No, it will be dangerous to leave now.
Yes, later would be better. By the way, who was the idiot who sent my article, La France Prisonnière, to Piroche?
He was. Stupid.
I must talk to him.
It was such a pleasure, Doctor. I couldn't resist.
Andre, won't you stay?
No, I can't. We're going to have a committee meeting tonight.
I'll be there.
I don't think you should. You understand why. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night,
Doctor.
I'm sorry, darling. I'll have to go back to the hospital tonight later. Dr. Marbell is performing an emergency operation. You don't mind?
No. Of course not.
We're nearly finished.
Yes, I was waiting for you.
I wish you wouldn't do that when you need the rest so much. Jean, won't you change your mind about going back to the factory tomorrow? If only for a week.
How did it go at the hospital?
All right, I guess.
Is it a habit of yours to go to the hospital at night?
Sometimes.
Or to go to Dr. Marbell's place? You seem to walk there in a very straight line.
You followed me, Jean.
Yes, I did. I can see how in daytime the hospital wouldn't be the best place for you and him.
You can't believe that, Jean.
What else is there to believe? What else?
How could you ever think? You must be out of your mind.
And why did you lie?
I can't tell you. I can't, but don't think that, Jean.
You...
It is they who plunged France into frightful misery. It is they who killed thousands and thousands of Frenchmen.
Dr. Marbell, I have no desire to interfere in your clinic, but my orders are to assist and supervise the inoculations. I have one colleague.
Nurse, this is Dr. Mannheim, who will supervise the inoculations.
How do you do, mademoiselle? The first group will be sent to us in a few moments. Much obliged, doctor. Ah, the Führer.
Parterre.
This your card?
Yes, I'm never without my picture of the Führer.
Good. Very good. Congratulations. Colonel told me you could be trusted.
Almost not so good.
Andre, there's something I must tell you. Jean did follow me last night.
Why did he follow you? Did he say? He must have had some reason. If he knows there was a meeting.
It was nothing political. It was personal. He thinks that you and I... Well, it didn't require much imagination on his part. I stayed at the hospital last night.
And you mean you didn't defend yourself? So he still thinks... Well, that's impossible. The man's gone through enough without this. And it's criminally unfair to you. I'll go to him myself.
You'll find it easy to explain, Andre, if you decide to expose a dozen people to possible arrest. Are you ready to do that? I couldn't sleep trying to find some answer. Jean will just have to go on thinking what he pleases.
I know what you must do, Yvonne. Devote yourself exclusively to Jean. Try somehow to win back his confidence. If necessary, drop completely out of all activity.
I don't have to tell you what Jean means to me. I love him, and I'll do anything I can to help him. But I won't resign from the committee. I'll be at the meeting again tonight.
That's good. Sehr gut. Weiter. Next. What's the matter? I didn't volunteer.
No conversation.
That's good. Und ab. Sehr gut. Weiter. Yvonne, what's the matter? I don't want to go to Germany. I didn't volunteer. They haven't any right to send us.
They're not asking anymore.
Nurse, no conversation, please. Up.
Excuse me, Doctor.
George! George! Who do they think they are? I don't want to go to Germany.
Come back to the hospital again at 10 o'clock. I'll leave a pass for you. And tell Mother I'm going to be here again tonight.
Say, what happened between you and Jean?
Oh, nothing, just a quarrel.
Nurse! You're on duty.
Pop! Mom!
What's the matter? What is it, George?
They're going to send me to Germany, 500 of us in a week, whether we want to go or not, like a bunch of cattle.
Are they going to take our children from us now?
Well, George, it is easier to make guns than sit in the trenches.
Guns to use against us? I haven't gone yet.
No, but if they want you to, then you will.
What can you do against them?
Without coal, without gas, without food or decent clothing, and all day long we have to listen to that. They weren't even going to tell us. Yvonne found out in the hospital. Well, I'm not going to go to Germany. I'm going to try and get out of the country. I'll join de Gaulle.
You're going to run away? I can tell you what steel whips feel like.
Oh, I'm sick and tired of your stories. The Germans have eyes in the back of their heads. Is that what you were going to say?
If you want to live, then obey. There's no other way out. Can you count on the English or the Americans? They will never come. I tell you, New York is a long way from Paris.
They'll take away your ration card, your papers. You'll never be able to work anywhere.
It's better for you to obey. After the war, you'll be back.
Come back? Come back how? Like he came back? Not me.
Oh, George! George!
Mother, don't cry.
They've just started.
Excuse me for being late.
Hello.
Hello, Colette. Hello. Why so cold, sweetheart? Hey, you're crazy, you know? Say. Oh, hello, Jean.
What happened?
The barber got warm, so he got a cold shower.
Kind of cool off, boy, aren't you?
Ah, Jean, I'm sorry if I said something. Come on, you're not mad at me, huh? How are things at the factory? It's no secret, is it, that they are sending boys to Germany now? Like so much mail, put a stamp on them into the baggage car, and off they go. Tragedy. But what can be done?
Nothing. That's exactly what I told George.
Your brother-in-law? That kid, he's going too?
The Gaulle. Why join the Gaulle?
Well, you know, these young hotheads, Let him do what he pleases.
What about the men who are being sent into Germany? My brother George is one of them. Can't we do anything? What can I tell him?
We can tell them all only one thing. Strike. We have talked about it before. This is the time.
We'll show the other countries we go to Germany only at the point of a gun.
I disagree. As long as we're asking our allies to bomb the factory, I don't think it's wise to risk a general strike at this time. We must conserve our energies for the final showdown. In the meantime, we can increase our sabotage. George is not the only one. Many others will be forced to leave.
But where is Yvonne? She came in here a few minutes ago.
You saw her?
With my own eyes.
Paulette, where is Yvonne? You didn't see her? He said she was just here.
Yvonne, no, I didn't see her, Jean. Because I was busy serving. Ah, he's been drinking too much.
Drink what? Water? Don't worry about me. She couldn't disappear like that.
Where are you going?
Oh, come on. Let me go. Yvonne must be there alone.
We must leave immediately. Usual way.
Get away from here! I'll do something! You get out of here, you dirty rat!
Oh, you can't take a joke, no?
I know your joke.
Oh, please. Let me alone, you.
I still think it was dangerous for you to come tonight. The situation with Jean.
Hello, Doctor. What's the matter? Am I inconveniencing you? It was all right for you slackers when the rest of us left for the front. Sitting at home with your bellies full of food. Reading the war news in the papers. And to forget about it, taking the wives of the men in the trenches.
Jean!
I wanted to kill both of you. But what for? You're not worth the trouble.
Oh, George.
Yvonne, I'm leaving tomorrow with Bernard and Duval. 4 of us. Another bunch leaves tonight.
Leaving? For where?
England to join the fighting French.
But, George, how can you get through?
Bernard's cousin did it just a month ago. They have friends, places to stop over and hide, get food.
You're going through the underground?
No, but...
Then you can't.
I'm going. There isn't a man who wouldn't go if he had my chance. My mind's made up.
I can't really blame you. But I'm afraid, George.
Oh, I'll make it. Don't worry, I know I will. I'll be leaving kind of early in the morning. Mother and Father will understand, won't they?
I hope they will. You'll need money.
Oh, I got some of my own. Duval stole it from his father. He's in the police. It might come in handy.
Don't take that with you, George. A gun will make you reckless. Give it to me.
Oh, Yvonne.
Please. Please, George.
All right, but don't keep it. Goodbye, sister. Oh, come on. I'll be coming back soon. With a couple of million other guys for a parade down the Champs-Élysées.
Can you tell me when this man Benvar is going?
I don't know.
Alone?
If I had the Gestapo working for me, I could find out.
The other half of your information is correct. And 100,000 francs if you can find out where those leaflets are being printed.
going?
None of your business.
You're not going?
Keep your hands off me, you coward. Hanging crepe all over the house ever since you got back. The boys at the plant noticed it, too. There are plenty of us that don't feel like you do. All right, so you got the skin torn off you. But no worse than a couple of million Russians or Greeks. So what are they supposed to do? Get down on their hands and knees? If you're so sure the Germans are gonna win, why don't you join up with them? The war's still on as far as we're concerned.
George.
I'm sorry, Jean, but you just don't seem to see right anymore. Will you say goodbye to Mother and Father? I can't.
Channel.
All right, it'll come along soon.
I'm afraid.
Don't worry, Duval. Just remember our stories. We're going to visit my cousin. Listen. Here comes a truck.
You want to ride?
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Jump on in the back.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
In North Africa.
Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
The Allies! Hooray! Be on, everybody! The Allies have landed in Africa!
Is it possible? Yvonne, do you think it's true? As soon as Dr. Marvell comes, we'll know the truth.
Did you hear?
Doctor, did you hear? The Allies have landed in Africa.
Oh, where?
Casablanca, Oran, and Algiers.
Oh,
Giraud is already there.
Oh, how wonderful, how wonderful, Yvonne, how wonderful. Come on, let's tell everyone, let's tell everybody, come on.
Oh, it's news to excite us soldiers, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Things have been too quiet around here. If we retreat from Paris, it'll be over the roads of French dead.
Yes.
We must take every precaution around the plant in case of riot.
Do the French people know, sir?
No, Paris radio's made no announcement yet. You may go, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Frank! That is your Heil Hitler. The Americans are not in Paris yet.
Heil Hitler!
Heil Hitler.
Workers, the Allies have landed in Algiers.
Herr Oberst, sehen Sie.
The news has leaked out, Colonel. The men are crazy. Work is stopped in every department, and they are smashing machines.
We are taking off our kid gloves, Frank. I have orders to ready every machine gun in the plant. Hello. Gestapo. Yes, sir? I need more men. And machine guns. You caught 3. I want these 3 men brought to the factory immediately. Yes, sir? Clear the buildings at once to stop sabotage. Fire at any sign of resistance. Yes, sir. Frank! Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler!
in Africa. The Allies have landed in Africa. In 2 weeks, they will be thrown back into the seas by our invincible German soldiers. Do you think the battle your generals lost in 1940 with guns and planes, you can now win with strikes or by running away like these fools? Look at them, the defenders of defeated France. France was not defeated. Quiet you! You'll see the time when we'll have guns again. Don't give in to these robbers. It's better to fight here than to die like slaves and hostages in Germany. They can't run their factories with dead Frenchmen. They can't make tanks with bayonets. Do you hear me, Jean? Take their guns away from them. They can't win. The Allies are in Africa. Next it'll be France. The Russians are still in Stalingrad. We must all stand up together, united. I'm not afraid of you. Abalez-vous! Vive la France! Ah, Frenchmen, we must all stand up. Push the swine back! Back! Doctor. Tell my mother not to cry. I'm not afraid.
The factory is closed, Colonel. We are taking 50 hostages.
Dr. Mannheim, I've called Dr. Lieber. He's leaving Munich immediately by plane.
Colonel must be operated upon at once. We can't lose a single minute.
Marbel. But he's French.
Dr. Marbel, you must operate.
Why don't we wait for Dr. Lieber? I've heard he's very competent.
Can't wait. You're a famous surgeon.
Let's forget we are at war.
Does it matter that you are French and I'm German?
Only you Nazis have raised that question.
But you can't let the men die, Doctor.
You're a scientist, Doctor, above politics.
You took an oath. The oath of a physician.
Don't let me die. For humanity's sake. Any privilege you ask will be granted you.
50 hostages. They are innocent men.
If the operation is successful, they'll be released.
I have the word of a Nazi officer?
Of course.
We are losing time, gentlemen.
Where's Nurse Blanchard? Send for her, please.
I'll take care of it, Doctor.
I've seen her. Get everything ready.
Dr. Marbel wants you in surgery. Well, hurry! Madam, will you please hurry?
Yvonne, your mask.
I know how you must feel, Yvonne, but I wanted you here with me.
You're going to operate?
There's no choice.
Great honor for a French surgeon. He killed George.
I know, but you must control yourself, Yvonne. 50 men have been taken, their lives hanging on Piroshes. Come. I've never wanted anything more in my life than to see Pirosh die. But it would serve no purpose. The reprisals would be terrible. As hateful as it is, I must operate.
Dr. Marvell, I have orders from the Gestapo to watch the operation. We trust there will be no mistakes on your part or your assistant. Thank you. Doktor, beachten Sie jedes Detail. Lassen Sie auch die Schwestern und den Assistenten nicht einen Augenblick aus den Augen.
Sie können sich auf mich verlassen, Herr Doktor.
Yvonne. Draw the curtains.
Pulse is failing.
The closest cooperation. Speed is important. Hypo. Hemostat. I said hemostat, Yvonne.
What's wrong?
Yvonne, hemostat.
Hello, beautiful.
Ça va, hein?
Ah, still mad at me? Hmm? How's the business?
Fine.
Hello, John.
Jean, it's so awful about George. Even adored him so. He was such a sweet boy. Do the old people know?
No. I haven't been home yet.
I'll change my dress and go over there now.
What's the matter? What happened?
George, killed in the factory.
No. Really?
He tried to run away after all. He was caught and shot. Remember? I told you he was going.
Told me? You must be mistaken.
No. You were the only one I told. He left early in the morning. A man was waiting, your friend, waiting. Could he have known? He was in your shop.
Why not? Is my shop a private club? Do you need a password to get in?
Why was he waiting for George?
I don't know.
Where else could he have known about George?
I swear!
What are you doing here? Get out!
By the soul of my mother, by all that's holy, I don't know what you're talking about.
You sold him to the Germans, didn't you?
You were in a prison camp. You know what those Germans are. They're clever. They get information out of you somehow. First, they said they'd put me out of business. How could I live?
So you turned spy. Traitor.
Don't move. I'll kill you! Don't move, huh? I'll kill you. Don't, Jean. Don't, Jean. No! out. I know how we can get rich. You see the printing machine here? Piroge would pay us 100,000 francs. They suspect this cafe.
What a pity you won't live to tell them.
Colette! Set up. Something's wrong.
Colette! Colette!
Come quickly.
I'm surprised at your carelessness, Max.
You are, sir. We had started to move everything after what happened in the factory.
What about the stool pigeons? You remember in the old days, we took care of them.
Jean.
Oh, Jean. Do you know what it meant to us to run away from you? Like that night at Marbelle's when you followed Yvonne.
Marbelle's?
Yes.
Sure. We meet at his house all the time. The doctor used to be against us. Now he's one of our leaders.
The former aristocrat? A leader at Beaumont?
Yes. You know, Jean, resistance to fascism isn't only the workers' privilege. It belongs to everybody, to the whole country.
You know, I once thought I knew Paris.
Colette, we have to close the cafe.
Colette, is that true? That night you were with Yvonne at Marbelle's place?
But of course, Jean. How could you have thought anything else?
Where are you going? What's the matter?
My wife is Dr. Marbelle's assistant. I'm calling for her.
Let him go.
Dr. Marbelle, you saved his life. Dr. Lieber couldn't have done better.
Yvonne.
Thank you.
Yvonne. Yvonne.
John, George is dead.
We'll miss George. But he'll never be dead. Do you remember what you learned in our school books? Heroes have a way of living a long time. Yvonne, if blindness, stupidity, and lunacy were things to be forgiven and not to be pitied, I would ask you to forgive me.
Oh, then you know the truth.
Yes?
Jean, there's something I must tell you.
No, darling. We'll talk about it later.
Herr Himmler just called from Berlin. Congratulations on your escape, Colonel. And to you, Doctor, for the splendid operation.
Do they have the criminal?
Not yet, Colonel.
Tell them to shoot the 50 hostages. Let them know the price of one German soldier.
That's already taken care of, Colonel.
I had your word. What are you trying to achieve with this system of hostages? Open a revolt?
You speak well from your point of view, not ours.
And your word as a Nazi officer?
The situation has become complicated, Doctor.
Let us now say, if the guilty one surrenders by tomorrow, we'll make every effort to grant your wish.
Unless by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning the criminal who shot Colonel Piroche surrenders himself to Gestapo headquarters, 50 hostages from the Beaumont factory will be shot and their families deported. A criminal is believed to be a member of the so-called underground, which is nothing but a small group of Jews and communists. We repeat, although the coward...
Georges. Mon petit Georges.
Mother, remember what our boy said. My poor boy. The unseen wound that we carry in our heart will not heal so easily this time. It is a new kind of war, isn't it? Kill these men in brown shirts. Destroy them, or yourself be destroyed. Yes, that's it.
Colette, I'm going out just for a little while. Stay with Yvonne, will you?
Jean, where are you going?
Just for a walk, darling.
I would like to go with you.
No. Better stay here.
Jean. This is yours, isn't it? Live knowing 50 innocent men had paid for what I did. I cannot say goodbye. I can only think of our life as it might have been. A life you will help make possible for other lovers to enjoy in peace.
Doctor. I don't know what to say, Doctor.
Welcome home, Blanchard.
But I think that what I said to you that...
Oh, that's ancient history, Jean. We've only time for the future. Come on in.
Jean?
Good evening, Jean.
Hello?
Max and Paul told us about Luigi. George wasn't the only one that rat turned in.
The doctor was just saying, whoever shot Piroche ought to give himself up.
Well, it all depends upon the circumstances. If the one is more valuable to the fight than the 50, then no. But in this case, I think the doctor is right. Since I am the man in question.
What? Jean!
You're joking. You didn't do it.
I had my reasons, Max. George was reason enough, wasn't he?
I don't see how it's possible.
Doctor, the Gestapo will also ask you questions. Did he take the bullets in the hospital?
Yes.
I'll take my gun with me. Is it the same caliber?
Yes.
Then that will be all the proof they want. In matters of crime, the Nazis are experts.
But you can't go, Jean. We need you. I had some wild idea.
You know, I've learned a lot in a few days in Paris. Our people are united. And when they must choose between death and the spirit of their freedom, then death becomes a very small matter to them. You know, Doctor, if I were in your place, I would make a good use of my case in your propaganda.
Death may not be very important, Jean. But we know what it means to fall into their hands alive.
Yes, I know. But I'm only concerned about Yvonne. You see, Doctor, as soon as I give myself up, she will be arrested. Because of George, too. Doctor, couldn't you take care of Yvonne?
Of course. Paul, bring Yvonne here immediately in my car. If you're stopped, just say that you're bringing a nurse to me for an emergency. Whatever you do, don't say anything about Jean.
Thank you, Doctor.
Several members of the Central Committee are being picked up by an English plane tonight. I promise you that Yvonne will be on it.
An English plane?
Yes, comes regularly, twice a week.
That's unbelievable. Are you going to leave for London as well, Doctor?
No, my place is here.
Where are you going, Yvonne?
There's something must be done at the hospital, Mother.
Oh.
Let's hurry everybody to the shelter downstairs.
Take Mother and Father with you, Colette.
But Yvonne, you can't go to the hospital now. They're going to bomb the factory.
Now, you mustn't worry about me. Come.
You can't go out in the air raid.
Jean isn't back.
Jean will find shelter. Come on, Yvonne.
Hurry, Yvonne.
Come on, Yvonne.
Yvonne, come with me to Dr. Marble.
At the hospital?
No, at home.
I can't go.
You must. It's ours.
I'm going with you.
You go down to the shelter and don't worry about it.
Those British take an invitation seriously, don't they, Doctor?
They were informed that tomorrow might be too late. I warned the factory staff to leave. Where's Picard?
I told him to come. He may be here any minute.
Now they can blow the factory to bits.
Pirosh is in the hospital. Won't a few blockbusters disturb him, Doctor?
Why, Jean. Jean is magnificent. You must be proud of him. So proud that it will give you the strength to hear what I'm going to say.
What do you mean?
Please, Doctor, quick.
Paul.
Go ahead, Doctor.
People of Paris, this is the voice of fighting France. The Frenchman who fired on Colonel Pirosh has just surrendered to the Gestapo.
No! No, that's not possible!
As the fascists have promised, the 50 hostages must be released immediately. He was a brave soldier in our army. Remember the name of this man. Tell it to your children. His name is Jean Blanchard.
No, not Jean. I did it. I did it. I did it.
Put it in the gun and show it to us.
Then he must have taken it from my room. Andre, believe me, it's true. I shot Pirosh.
Even if you did, it's better this way. I lied to you. So did Jean. He was hopelessly ill, Yvonne. Incurable. He knew that. He thought it was his one chance to contribute something to a struggle, the end of which he had no hope of seeing. It wasn't only because of you. And if he had told you, would you have denied him the one chance of real happiness he could have known?
Jean, somewhere you may be able to hear my voice. Believe that I will love you always, and that we will win. We will never stop fighting. The Germans will soon hear the voice of the French blood which is flowing on the soil of France. They will recognize that the old France of Jeanne d'Arc,
I'm
Aumet,
listening.
and the
Trying to
Mars
find that
is marching again, and will not put down her arms until absolute defeat of all the tyrannies of the earth. The night is ending, Jean. The Allied invasion must come soon. And our people will stand as one to join in the fight. And on the day of our liberation, you will hear the church bells of France ringing from every city, every village, their song of freedom. Liberty will never die in the country of its birth. Au revoir, Jean. Vive la France!